Now, before today's video, I want to take some time to really appreciate my parents who worked extremely hard in their life to make sure I can come to the UK to get the best education, to attend one of the best universities, and really allow me to start this channel and my social media platforms to start sharing tips and tricks to help more students to land their job offers. I am so thankful to my parents who really see the potential and the value of education and be willing to invest in my own education. So remember guys, the biggest thing that you should ever do is to invest in yourself, the knowledge and the skills, because you are your biggest asset. And if you have any chance to invest in your education, in your training, then you should definitely do so. As someone who has lived in the UK for almost 9 years now, I came here for my undergraduate and master's study, and later on started working in the UK with visa sponsorship and switched to a complete different industry after my first job as well. So here I'm going to talk to you the 5 biggest reasons you should be coming to the UK to study if you are an international student. Now, the first thing is the quality of education that you're going to receive in the UK. Comparing to other countries, especially in a lot of Asian countries, when you go to university, it is pretty much a reflection of what you're going to do in high school. You are going to take a lot of exams. These universities focus on a lot reading books, taking exams, and learning about things mostly through textbook. So one thing that the UK university really focuses on is the practicality of your studies. Not only you're going to develop a comprehensive understanding about a certain subject, but you are required to actually apply the knowledge you have acquired to certain projects. Meaning you're going to do a lot of coursework, you're going to do a lot of research and a lot of projects when you are studying here. And it's quite common to see a master in research, this type of degree, which you don't really see in other parts of the world, where you spend your entire master in doing multiple research projects, which gives you really good exposure of doing project work and develop your independence. Now, the high quality of education in the UK is also reflected by the ranking of universities. As you can see, majority of the top 50 universities are split between USA and UK. The universities are ranked by the excellence of teaching, the job prospects of the graduate from certain university, as well as other different areas. This represents the quality of the education in the UK universities, which means that UK has much more famous universities comparing to other parts of the world. And this means to you, whether you want to stay in the UK to work, or if you want to go back to your own country or travel to another country for work, the university that you graduate from and the degree that you obtained is to give you a massive push in your career. It will make job application and job search much easier if you graduated from famous universities from the UK, for example, like Cambridge or Oxford. The second advantage of coming to the UK for study is the length of studies. When you are doing undergraduate degree, a typical undergraduate degree would be 3 years long, and a typical master degree will be 1 year long, which means you can complete your master education with undergrad in just 4 years, versus in the US, the undergrad is 4 years, the master is 2 years, and it will take you 6 years to complete it. And this way, you're saving up 2 years of your life from education that you can spend on building your career already. Generally speaking, comparing to US or Australia universities, UK university tuition fee tend to be a bit lower for international students, and the fact that it takes shorter to complete undergrad and master degree, it makes coming to the UK to study a cost-effective option. Then the next thing is actually the job perspective in the UK. Since Brexit, UK has suffered from a shortage of labor, meaning that they are releasing a lot of new policies to attract people to work here. And the latest scheme, High Potential Individual Visa, as well as the extension of PSW visa, is an indication that UK is trying to retain talents and attract more foreign workers to come to the UK. So if you're a student, regardless if you have done undergrad, master, or PhD in the UK, you are eligible to apply for post-study graduate visa, PSW visa, which would allow you to stay for 2 more years in the country to work for any industries you want. Same with high potential individual visa. If you have graduated from top universities across the globe, you are eligible to apply to this visa and come to the country to stay for 2 years to live or to work. In the case if you do want to work for longer term, like 3 to 5 years in the UK, then you can apply to T2/skilled worker visa. And the good thing about skilled worker visa is as long as you have a job offer from a company that has the sponsorship license, then you will be granted the visa from the home office. Versus in the US, even if you have a job offer, you need to go through the H-1B lottery system, meaning you're going to submit your H-1B application and the government or the home office will randomly select candidate to give them H-1B visa. And especially in 2023, the statistic has shown that in the USA, only 10 to 12% of people can actually receive the H-1B visa because there are so many people. There's just more people applying for H-1B and the government only has certain quota to give out to applicants. So in this sense, it is more secure to get a work visa in the UK because as long as you have a job offer from a company that can sponsor visa, then you are 100% guaranteed a visa. If you're interested in how I landed my first visa sponsored job in the UK, I have linked a video here that you can watch. Then the next thing that is really good about studying in the UK is the level of global opportunities and exposure that you're going to get. Now, UK, despite being a relatively small country compared to US, Canada, Australia, it is a global culture melting pot where you're going to see people from hundreds of different countries and you also have the experience to try different food. Say if you come to the UK and then you really miss your home food, I guarantee that you can find a restaurant in the UK that does your home food. And similarly, if you're walking on the street of London, when you talk to someone or even your classmates, you're going to realize the majority of them, they're not from the UK. They're actually from other countries, from generations, or their parents have moved to the UK, or you see a lot of mixed race people as well in here. Now, what that means to you is not only you're going to have an eye-opening experience of talking to people from multiple countries, but when you are actually studying, you're going to work with these people, and when you do work in the UK, you have an opportunity to work globally with multiple clients from different industries and countries, which would add valuable work experience, especially international working experience, on your resume. The next good thing about working in the UK is the ease of traveling across Europe. Due to the geological advantage of being next to Europe or in the Europe, you can easily travel to multiple cities and countries in Europe with very cheap flights. So for instance, there are multiple budget airlines that you can use for flying across Europe. For example, you can use Ryanair or EasyJet to get your return ticket, sometimes for only £40 to Italy. I totally understand. If you're an international student, you came here, absolutely you want to experience life in other different countries. And Europe has so many different countries. Each of them has different language, culture, food, history. So staying in the UK allows you to travel very easily to these countries to experience complete different lives. And you can travel multiple times in the year depending on the budget, of course. You can do it during Christmas, Easter holiday, summer holiday, or sometimes even just a weekend getaway to Paris, for example. And if you're someone who does want to come to the UK and you're curious of the cost of living in the UK, then I have done a video here talking about the cost of living in the UK, where I break down major chunks of cost that you need to consider. And I have done a budget version and a luxury version, so you can know based on your budget what kind of lifestyle that you can live and what to expect. Once again, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe because I'll be posting more videos, sharing my experience in the UK, and most importantly, I'll be teaching you on how to land a job offer. So see you in the next one.